Just as I was about to step back, I saw a familiar image flash in my mind. President Trump standing in front of that church, holding an upside-down Bible. Was it a coincidental connection? The tension between the Democrats and Republicans had reached a boiling point. Whispers circulated through the Capitol that both parties knew something was wrong, but neither dared to confront it. As I stepped further into the room, I saw a journal. I picked it up, the pages yellowed and worn with age. Inside there were names of senators and even presidents, all connected by symbols and cryptic messages. But it was the final name that stopped me dead in my tracks. The name of the president, and underneath it, written in blood-red ink, were the words, "He knows, he's part of it." Suddenly the door behind me slammed shut and the lights went out completely. I felt a cold presence beside me, and the voice came again, this time louder. "He's coming for you!" When the lights came back on, the room was freezing cold. I could see my breath as I exhaled. I scrambled to the door, but no matter how hard I pulled, it wouldn't budge. That's when I heard it, the sound of objects moving behind me. Slowly, I turned around and my heart nearly stopped. Books were flying off the shelves, chairs were sliding across the floor, and the table in the center of the room was rattling violently. It was as if a poltergeist was throwing everything into chaos. The upside-down Bible suddenly flipped open, the pages torn by some invisible hand. The candle on the table went out, plunging the room into darkness once again. I was trapped. But just as I thought it was over, the door flew open and I bolted into the hallway. But I wasn't running toward safety. I was running toward him. I tracked him to the Capitol's basement, a place not many people even knew existed. The air was thick with dust and the faint hum of machinery echoed through the stone corridors. That's where I saw the man in black, standing before an altar. On the altar was a photograph of President Trump, and there in front of him was a contract. I could see the signature at the bottom, a familiar signature. The man in black turned toward me, and for the first time I saw his face. Or rather, I didn't. His face was nothing but a swirling mass of shadows, and behind those shadows were eyes. Cold, steely, empty eyes. And that's when it hit me. The man in black wasn't just some figure lurking in the Capitol. He was the president. Or was he not? I was delirious and probably hallucinating. The man in black stepped forward, his face still obscured and contorted, but as he raised the Bible, I noticed, stitched into the fabric of his coat, was a symbol, one that I had seen countless times but never truly understood. It was vaguely familiar. It all made sense now. The riots and the political polarization. It had all been orchestrated by Freemasons, one that had been embedded in American politics since the start. This was something far deeper. But then came the final twist, the revelation that made my blood run cold. As the man in black removed his hood, revealing his contorted and wrinkled face, my mind froze in disbelief. It wasn't a Republican or a far-right extremist or a Democrat. It wasn't Trump. It was the janitor, Percival Edwards. The same janitor I had passed by every day, the kind, gentle soul who shared stories about the old Capitol days with me. I had always admired his quiet presence, how he seemed to move unnoticed through the building, cleaning the halls of power like he had been doing for years. I trusted him. But there he was, standing before me, the man in black, the orchestrator of chaos. The janitor, the man I thought I knew, was a member of the Freemason. His calm demeanor, a cover for something darker. He had been playing two sides all along, manipulating events from behind the scenes. The insurrection, the violence. It had all been part of a grand design, and he had been pulling the strings with no one suspecting. It wasn't about one political party over the other. It wasn't about Trump or Biden. This was about power, control, and an ancient force that had wormed its way into the Capitol, hidden in plain sight. As the janitor stared back at me, I realized everything we had witnessed was just the beginning. And now, with the chaos of the insurrection behind us, the world felt still. The tension that had once gripped my chest had loosened. Percival Edwards? I never saw him again. He disappeared into the shadows. What about the 2024 elections? Will good triumph over evil? Will the light break through the darkness? I can't say. I closed my laptop, letting the cool breeze wash over me as I sat at the edge of the reflecting pool, the Lincoln Memorial towering in the distance. The memory of Dr. King's hallowed words echoed through my mind. His voice, filled with hope, felt more alive than ever. And there on the horizon the White House stood, bathed in soft evening light. In the background, America the Beautiful floated through the air, the words a quiet promise to this land we all call home. America, oh sweet America, God shed his grace on thee, played softly in the background, wrapping around me like a warm embrace. It serenaded my uncertainty with beautiful themes of patriotism, unity, and gratitude, painting vivid pictures of our values and reflecting a deep appreciation for the ideals that bind us together. As those heartfelt notes washed over me, I felt unshackled from the weight of forgotten words and the shadows that lingered in the air, a small smile tugging at the corners of my lips. In that moment, with uncertainty behind and ahead of us, I realized that amidst the chaos, there was still a flicker of hope, like a lighthouse guiding us home. With a deep breath, I shut my laptop and stared into the reflection of the sky and the water. I mumbled to myself, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like that dream may be still alive. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that will leave your skin crawling. And click on the playlist on the top left corner to hear more stories in this genre.